Hi everyone, this is U.S. immigration lawyer Michael Ashoori, and in today's video I want to go and do a general overview of the EB5 visa, and I want to talk to you guys about the most important aspects of this visa, including the requirements, the process, and the benefits. So with that said, let's get started. The first thing I want to talk about is what the EB5 visa is. The EB5 visa is an immigrant visa for investors, entrepreneurs, and anyone who is looking to start a business in the USA. To qualify for an EB5 visa, you are required to invest in a US business and create jobs for US workers. Through the EB5 visa, you can qualify for a green card for you, your spouse, and your children. Now, what are some benefits of an EB5 visa? Like we just mentioned, you get a green card for yourself, your spouse, and your children. This alone is a tremendous benefit. As a permanent resident, you're on the path to US citizenship. Your children have access to a US education. And as a permanent resident, you're free to live and work anywhere in the United States. So as you can see, there's a lot of benefits associated with the EB5 visa. What are the requirements to qualify for an EB5 visa? You must invest in a new commercial enterprise. A new commercial enterprise is a for-profit business conducting lawful activities that was formed after November 29, 1990. You must invest at least $1.8 million in your US business. Now, you can, in certain cases, you may be eligible to invest a reduced amount of $900,000 instead of $1.8 million. And in order to qualify for that reduced investment amount, you must invest in a targeted employment area. Basically, a targeted employment area is some type of an economically depressed area where the US government has an incentive in encouraging investment being made in that area. So rather than requiring you to invest the full 1.8 million, they allow you to invest 900,000 instead. So another requirement is that your investment must lead to the creation of 10 full-time jobs for US workers. This is another one of the main requirements of EB5 is that you must create jobs. So that's that requirement. And your investment funds must be at risk. It's not enough that you just deposit the funds into a bank account. You must commit the funds in some type of a way, and that's the requirement that the funds be at risk. Your funds also must have been obtained through a lawful source. The U.S. has an incentive against, money laundering and to prevent that kind of behavior. So we need to demonstrate that the funds are derived from a lawful source, such as your employment earnings or proceeds from the sale of a property. That's the lawful source of funds requirement. In addition, you must engage in the management of your business. You cannot be totally removed from the business and have no involvement in the management. You have to have some involvement in the management of the business. So those are the requirements. So what types of investments qualify for EB5? There's basically two types of investments. The first is a regional center investment. Basically, regional centers are entities designated by USCIS for EB5 purposes. And regional centers basically pool together investment funds from multiple EB5 investors to develop some type of a large-scale project, such as a hotel development, a shopping center, or some other type of large-scale real estate development. Now, with regional center investments, the management is generally conducted by some type of management team. You're not so much involved in the day-to-day operations. Your role in the management is generally limited to some type of voting rights. And that's a regional center investment. The other option is a direct investment. Basically, a direct investment is anything that's not an investment in a regional center. Direct investments are what you probably think about when you're thinking about making an investment in a business, where you go out and you either purchase a business or start a new business. With direct investments, you're generally much more involved in the management than you are if you're making a regional center investment. Now, what's the process of getting an EB5 visa? There's a lot of confusion about the EB5 process, so hopefully this will help to simplify it. Step one is to invest your funds. you can't apply for anything until the funds have been invested. Once the funds are invested, the next step is to file a Form I-526, Immigrant Petition. With this form, we provide a lot of documentation demonstrating what type of business you're investing in. We prove that you've actually invested the funds. We use bank statements and other types of things to show that. We also show that the funds were obtained, the funds that you've used to invest have been obtained lawfully. We do that with also your personal bank statements, your tax returns, and everything like that. So at the I-526 stage, what we're basically showing is that you've made the investment, the investment funds have come from a lawful source. But at the I-526 stage, we do not need to show that the jobs have already been created. The jobs must be created at later steps down the line, and we'll get to those. But I just want to make clear that at the I-526 stage, the jobs do not need to be created, but the investment funds must have been invested. Now, after the I-526, once that gets approved and a visa number is available for you, the next step is to do your adjustment of status or visa processing. You'll do an adjustment of status if you're lawfully present in the United States in some type of a valid non-immigrant status. If you're abroad, if you're outside of the United States, then you'll generally do visa processing. Now, after you've done the adjustment of status and it's been approved, or you've successfully obtained your immigrant visa and you've entered the United States on your immigrant visa, you're now in a 2-year period of conditional permanent residence. Basically, this is a green card. You have your green card with a 2-year expiration date. And during this 2-year period, you have the same rights as any other green card holder, but there's 2 things that are very important. During this 2-year period, you must keep your funds, your investment funds, you must leave them invested in the business. You cannot pull out the investment funds. Also, it's during this 2-year period where you have to create the 10 full-time jobs for U.S. workers. So those are the 2 things that are important to know about this 2-year period of conditional permanent residence. It's that you must keep the funds invested and you must create the 10 full-time jobs for U.S. workers. Now, 3 months before your 2-year period of conditional permanent residence is set to expire, so 21 months into your conditional permanent residence, you're eligible to file the I-829 removal of condition. The removal of conditions, the I-829, is the form that we file to get your permanent green card, so that you're no longer a conditional green card holder, but you're a traditional, unconditional permanent resident. And at this stage, what we need to show is that, like I mentioned, the funds have been kept in the business and that you've created the 10 full-time jobs for U.S. workers. And basically, that's a quick overview of the EB5 process. Now, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please go ahead and subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions whatsoever, I've included all my contact information in the description below. And I've also included a special link for you to schedule a consultation, a free consultation with our office. So if you have any questions whatsoever, feel free to go ahead and click that link, schedule a consultation with our office. We would be very happy to help you. Thank you guys so much for tuning into our video, and I'll see you on the next one.